up to every one of you to make sure that those crimes do not go unpunished. Just like Watergate did not go unpunished, Obamagate should not go unpunished. And I remember when I lived in Russia, there was a saying there, even one soldier at the battlefield is a soldier, is a force. We have now force of one. So each one of you is a force. And you can see in my example how much one person can do. You can make a difference. And you have to do it. You have to do it for the sake of your children, for the sake of your grandchildren, to make sure that your children, that your grandchildren do not live in a totalitarian regime. That your children, that your grandchildren do not live in a country where they have no constitutional freedoms, where they have no rights, where somebody can get at the helm of the government by fraud, by obfuscation of all of his records. And corrupt governmental officials are aiding and abetting massive fraud. Corrupt thugs in the media, instead of uncovering this fraud, are attacking constitutional attorneys like me who dare to speak up, who dare to take upon crooks and demand answers. It is up to each and every one of you to make a difference. And by the way, I don't know, how many of you know that I'm now running for office? A few. Well, as of Friday, as of yesterday, I am officially a candidate on the ballot. And I am running for the position of Secretary of State of California. And I'm running as a Republican. And just in short, I have one contender. And here again, I uncover fraud. The person that I'm running against is a former football player, Damon, who a year ago filled out a voter registration form in Orange County, California. And for the first time, he voted in May of last year, voted by absentee ballot as a Republican. And on his voter registration fraud, there is a question, question 16, that asks, did you register to vote before? And if yes, in what county, what state, and affiliated with what party? Mr. Dunn didn't put any information. So looking at his voter registration card, one would believe that he never registered and he was never affiliated with any party. Ladies and gentlemen, that's fraud, complete fraud. What did we find out? That he did register in Florida. He played for Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville, Duval County, Florida, where he registered, not only registered, he registered as a Democrat. And one of my supporters has actually contacted the Registrar of Voters in Duval County, Florida, and talked to one of the officials. His last name is Mr. Hollander. And Mr. Hollander stated that and confirmed that indeed Damon Dunn has registered there as a Democrat. And one of my supporters asked if he has ever written to Duval County, Florida to change his affiliation from Democrat to Republican. And the answer was no. He never changed his affiliation from Democrat to Republican. Now, California Elections Code has a statute, 8001A2, that states that one cannot be affiliated to another party for at least 12 months before he officially announces his his candidacy to run for office from a specific party. Well, first time Mr. Dunn became a Republican was in March of last year when he filled out, fraudulently might add, his voter registration card, and he started running as a Republican in November. Well, that was only 6 months, so he is not eligible. Talk about people not being eligible. Moreover, California Elections Code has statute 18500 that states that when somebody commits fraud in relation to filling out his voter registration card, voting, or aiding and abetting voting, he commits a crime that is punishable by $1,000 and or both imprisonment for 16 months or 2 years or 3 years. That's a crime, ladies and gentlemen, to commit such a fraud. And a person can sit for 3 years in prison for this. So it's up to all of us to make sure that we don't have any more fraud in elections. Enough is enough. I have filed a criminal complaint with the Registrar of Voters. I just talked to Mr. Neil Kelly, who is the Registrar of Voters in Orange County, California. He stated I need to forward all the information to him. And he stated that he will be forwarding this information to the District Attorney of Orange County, Mr. Tony Rakauskas, and to the Secretary of State. I did remind him that Secretary of State Deborah Bowen didn't do a thing when I reported Mr. Obama. Mr. Kelly stated that since it's not federal, I mean, we're not talking about the president, and it's a voter fraud, they do have an investigation unit, that something will be done. Let's hope it will be. And I